Hello, hello, everybody. Give me one sec. Just getting some things set up here. One sec, one sec. There we go. All right. Still getting everything set up, y'all. Hello, hello. Can y'all hear the music, by the way? And if so, is it at a decent level? Oh. Let me fix something. Didn't. There we go. Testing, testing. Y'all can hear me all right, right? I'm trying to get my multi-chat set up. I only have to look at one thing, but I don't think the TikTok chat is coming through. Hello, hello, hello. Why is this not working? Sorry, I'm having to do a little verification code here. All right. Come on now. Why do I look so sad while streaming? Just concentrating, trying to get these technical difficulties figured out. All right. Just giving it a minute. Hopefully the TikTok connects. You can join the Discord to provide takes, but I currently have it frozen to where no one can write in the channel, because if it wasn't that way, like, it would constantly be scrolling. But I'll unlock it once we're done. For future hot takes. And then, you know, I might just respond to some in chat as well. But join the Discord. Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna have to Oh wait, I think it's okay. I think we're good. Okay, I think I'm seeing the TikTok chat. I'm seeing the YouTube chat. Hopefully we're good. Also, trying something new. I'm streaming both vertically and horizontally on YouTube. So if you discover this in the horizontal or in the vertical feed, a little bit better of an experience over on the horizontal feed because you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But all right, hold on, let me catch up. Oh, yo, Preston, thank you so much. Sorry, I just saw this. Let's just kick this off with this. He says, hot take. Regardless of how powerful they make the new alien sorcerers, they will still be, as the kids refer to it, bum ass. We will see. I definitely, on principle, that's not the right word. My gut instinct would be to agree, though. Like, I doubt Gege Akutami is just going to power cliff his own series immediately and have these aliens be, you know, equal to Sukuna. I've already put out a video on this. But, you know, could they be stronger? Sure, but we'll see. We shall see. Also, Eddie says, feels like JJK is going to go the DBZ route. These aliens will be a tough fight, but they'll be running to Earth from something worse. Definitely possible. Actually, I want to put a whole video out on that idea too, because it could be that they truly are refugees fleeing from a greater threat that the aliens and humans will have to band together to defeat. But it's also possible that that's a lie, you know? Maybe they're not refugees fleeing from anything. Maybe they just destroyed their own planet, you know? I'm just trying to catch up here. Also, hello everyone. I know a lot of people are saying hello. Yes. So it's just showing the Squid Game thing right now because we're at the top. But once we get into it, I'll scroll down to the actual takes. Yo, OmniK, thank you. I didn't see a message combined with that. So if you meant to send one, please just send one in the chat. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, just let me know what you wanted to say. Sukuna is strong, but can he Zeep Zorp? He's got two mouths, so he might be able to simultaneous Zeep Zorp, which is a strategy the world hasn't seen in decades. But we can't say for sure. But thank you, Mao. Okay. So how this is going to work, I don't even know what's in this channel, by the way. I made a hot takes channel where people could just share their hot takes. We'll see. We're in this together. Let me rearrange a few things here. Okay. I'm just kind of gonna scroll real quick until we actually like find one, because a lot of people were just, you know, going crazy when the channel was first created. Also behave. There we go. Okay, let me make sure this is actually in frame. I don't know if this is like a... I don't know if this is a meme or like an actual hot take, but Megami is going to make his triumphant return to JJK. I don't know about that, you know? I do think Megami gets a bad rap. He didn't actually die to a grade 3 curse, but he's like late 80s, even if he is still alive, right? So I don't know how much of a triumphant return he could even make, even if he is still around. Yuta would have lost to Jogo. See, it's going to be real hard to figure out what someone's genuine take is versus just people memeing here, but no shot. Jogo gets humbled. Cursed energy god theory needs to be exterminated. I don't know what this is even in reference to. I don't know if Phi happens to be in here right now. Yo, what's up, Boku? By the way, for any of you guys who need an amazing artist to follow, check out Boku no Color. I'm often using their art in my videos. He says, do you think Panda is still alive? I know he lost the other souls, but clearly he didn't lose self-sufficiency, though he may just have a normal lifespan. So we know he's still alive. At least, well, I guess we don't know, but I would imagine he's still alive since he appeared in the why do I keep wanting to say prequel? What is the word? Epilogue. He appeared in the epilogue. So he might even be like functionally immortal. So I would imagine he's still around. Oh my god, Lily, you're right. Let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, wait. Sorry, y'all. I do not have a good setup here. I'm hearing beeps, so let me go back to the beeps. Also, Omni. I didn't forget, but I probably missed your message. Could you resend it? And I'll focus on chat until I hear from you. But in the meantime, Preston says, hot take, if Megami comes back, he will be detrimental and useless as Hiruzen from Naruto. Yeah, I mean, if he's coming back, it's again as an 85-year-old man that would maybe just impart some wisdom, but I'm not expecting much. Okay, wait, I'm focusing right now because I don't want to miss Omni's message. Omni, I hope you're still there. Also, if any of the mods see Omni message and I don't see it, please just like spam ping me. But in the meantime, Deadhead says, the aliens when they see a broom, potential Momo in the vicinity. I cannot tell you how much I love those memes. For those of you that haven't seen them, like, I guess it's some sort of AI that people are using to make them, but they're taking like real videos, like of humans, and like they're imposing like Maru on top of it, and it's usually like him sprinting away from something. Okay, I might be blind, but I'm not seeing anything from Omni. Omni, you just let us know. You have permission to spam, so I don't miss it if you are still there. Wait, Violent says, Monganimist when comic cartoonist walks in. That is my arch nemesis. Him and Animongist. God forbid they ever team up. Okay, then Anwar says, kickstarting Agenda Kaisen again. They waited till Gojo and Sukuna died until Yuji got old. These aliens are already frauds. Yes, I've been seeing so many of those memes as well. Someone said that they got like they got streamed the Gojo Sukuna fight on like interdimensional cable and said, hell no, we'll wait 80 years. Chair Ganimist is doing great. I know you guys want to see the celebrity, so I'll give you a quick peep. Still doing good. Okay. Oh, Omni, I see you. Okay, yeah. Could you send your message again? Because I definitely missed it when you sent it earlier. Did the Demon Slayer movie already come to the US? Yes, it just did. It just did. I haven't seen it though. I said that I like Gojo's ideologies, but I didn't care for him as a character that much. Hey, that's fair. You know, that's honestly, that's more than most people that don't like Gojo, you know, being able to at least split the two things. Manga, how would Sukuna have reacted to seeing aliens pull up? Great question. He probably would have been excited, you know, for a new realm of challenge. And potentially maybe would have been curious about like how, like, if he does have some sort of weird connection to them, even if it is like tangential, maybe he would have been curious about that. User 225 says, how strong is what the aliens are running from? It's a good question. If they're running from anything, I would... Okay, if they are running from something, it has to be massively strong, right? Considering they were deemed a special grade level Sukuna-esque threat, then whatever has them afraid has to be even stronger than that, right? Blossom Lizard says, Rika's ring is needed to bring out Yuka's full power, but limits Tsurugi's heavenly restriction. They're so powerful, it's the only way to train. Yeah, I have seen people talk about, like, could Rika's ring be, like, holding him back because it's like a cursed energy presence in his vicinity. And I see the idea there, but it would be, like... But like within the power system, for lack of a better word, I don't know how that would be interacting necessarily, because like we've seen both Maki and Toji use cursed tools and it doesn't like nerf them, you know what I mean? Is there room for, you know, a weird interaction given how Rika's weird in the first place? Sure. But as it stands right now, I don't know how much sense it would make to me if like the ring was like preventing his heavenly restriction from being full on. Okay, sorry. I'm streaming on both TikTok and YouTube. I saw somebody ask that. Was it you that mentioned it might be a virus they were running from? No, that wasn't me. That'd be a cool idea, though. Like if there was like a plague or something on their planet. Jorge says, it's gotten so bad that we're jumping aliens now. That has been the beautiful thing about this community. Like, Gojo stans and Sukuna stans have come together to slander these aliens, and you know, I never thought I'd see the day. By the way, thank you guys for those of you that have been subscribing to the YouTube. We're getting close to 90K. Mike says, probably not a hot take, but Yuji isn't half cursed. Seen a lot of people say he is in regards to him being young if he appears in the sequel. Yeah, Mike, I 100% agree with you. I put out a video on this last week because I saw so many people saying Yuji was half cursed. Yeah, I definitely don't think he is either. Could he be younger and have a longer lifespan for certain reasons? Yes, but I don't expect Yuji to be like 30 years old if we see him. I still expect him to be old. Okay, I think we're caught up on the messages, so let's go back to the Discord now. Again, we're just going to have to determine what's actually real and what's memeing here. But this next one from Gugudi, don't know if I'm saying that right. Uraume versus Sakari will be 10 times better than Sukuna Kaisen. Oh, this spoiler. Oh, obvious rage bait. Okay, never mind. Oddfo says, Gojo will come back. Probably a meme, but if not, I don't think so. Highly doubt it. Okay, here's a hot take, actually, from Hububu. Yuji should not come back. This might be our first actual hot take here. I don't want to say I agree, because I don't think it's like a binary thing. But I could get behind Yuji not coming back. This just got a new downvote while we've been sitting here. That's hilarious. Listen, would I love to see an adult 80-year-old Yuji throwing hands? Sure, it would be cool. But I also, like, you know, I don't think this story needs the old characters any more than, like, flashbacks and references. Here's what I'll say. If Yuji comes back in like a tasteful way, cool. But like, anyone expecting Yuji to be like a main character or anything, I think is setting themselves up for disappointment. Somebody said, how do I post my art on the Discord? You got to be level 5 in the Discord for image. Yo, I forget. Like, I can't find the word I'm looking for like so often. Am I old? Not preferences. What the hell is the word I'm looking for? Image. Am I having a stroke? You guys know what I mean. You need level 5 to post images. Which doesn't take very long. These hot takes are in the hot takes channel under the Modulo. Permissions. God, thank you. I was close. Both P words. Lily, I guess so. Yeah, so anyone who wants to join the Discord, so the channel's closed right now. You can't add your hot take to the Discord because I didn't want it to like be scrolling while we're sitting here. But I'll open it back up afterwards and we'll do this again if you guys like this. What's good? What's good? Okay, wait. I'm getting beeps. I need to go check the beeps real quick. Okay, Omnike says Kashimo should have killed Hikari at least 3 times. Now, I know JoJo's going to be a fan of that one. Now, do you mean like... By that, do you mean that he should have won and like literally killed Hikari? And there's like 3 different instances where that should have happened? Or do you just mean that like there should have been like more gore and damage given Hikari's healing ability? Alright, then Anwar says, aliens saw Megami die to a grade 3 cursed spirit and thought we can take them. That might have been the incident that gave them the courage to actually stop on by. And then user225 says, Urume and Hikari probably just went to a hotel. I did love those memes back when the Shinjuku Showdown was airing. There's even one art piece in particular. I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but it was like Hikari and Urume at like a cafe in Paris. It was peak. Where am I reading these from? So the ones I'm not reading on Discord are ones people are sending in as like a special chat on YouTube. Hernandez says, do you think we're going to see Megami and Yuji's grandsons? That's more likely, I would say. But I don't know. You know, obviously the Akotsus are the main characters, but I certainly think we could see a family member. Okay. Let's keep it rolling. JJK is the best written anime ever. You know, probably a meme. But you guys know I love JJK, but I would not give it that title. Alright, hot take. A multiverse plotline would be better than this alien nonsense. It would fill the exact same things and more. I don't really get why... Like, why does that matter, I guess? Here's a hot take. Everyone who just on the surface says aliens are dumb is dumb. Like, let's see how it's handled. You know what I mean? And in particular, I think JJK was well set up for that type of twist, if you will. Like, there was the negative space within the lore to like have something like that come in. Like, I don't think it was just like you rolled a random dice and it landed on aliens and Gege was like, let's go with that one. Maharaga is actually an alien from Biden Blast here. I think this is a matter of semantics. I mean, he's obviously a Shikigami, but like, you know, could he have some sort of alien influence? Maybe. Perhaps. Will says, what characters from the OG series do you think are alive? I actually put out a whole video on that, if you're interested. But short version is they're mostly going to be dead because they're all late 80s at best, right? So any of them could be alive, but best bet, I would say Yuji, because of his unique physiology, not a half curse. Wee, just because he was younger than everyone else. I think there was like one other main person I talked about in that video, but I can't remember who it was. So, yeah, I mean, anyone could be, because, you know, people are living till 100 these days, but wouldn't hold out hope to see everyone. Okay. Will we see the grandchildren of Mei Mei and Wee Wee? I mean, hopefully not their grandchildren, but, you know, maybe each of their grandchildren. Why is the new manga called JJK 3 and not JJK 2? It's not called JJK 3. I also have a video on this. People mistook the modular arithmetic symbol for a 3. But it's not. Okay. Rue says, Tsurugi is gonna live and Yuka is gonna die. Also, they gave Rika to Tsurugi because Rika... Okay. A lot of people think one of the twins is gonna die to kind of mirror the Maki Mai thing. That obviously could happen, right? But I don't know if I see that happening, especially in a short form series like this. It would feel a little too similar to that. You know what I mean? Kinjaku come back to start the merger. Kinjaku could still be around, but if he is... This is a lot of what ifs, okay? Let's just assume Kinjaku is still around, okay? If he is, then he probably still does want to enact the merger, but I don't think that's what this story is going to be about. He would have to do all of the setup again because it's not like he can just start it again 80 years later. Like, all the setup he did for it is gone. So I don't think this has any chance of happening. Hot take, I can't read. Most honest JJK fan. All right, a bunch of meme responses. Hot take, Yuji's kid should be the MC. I mean... I mean, it could have been, but I don't have a problem with it being the Akotsu grandkids. I think the dynamic is... I mean, like, with something that didn't happen, we could say anything could have happened, right? So it's impossible to compare it, but I, for one, think this dynamic is really cool between the brother and sister. So I'm here for it. Hot take, Gege is a good author and JJK had a good ending if you think about it for more than 5 seconds and the themes of the story. And you guys already know I agree with that. Miss Killjoy says, not super feeling it right now. Even the alien stuff, that's fine. Just feels like Gege is a bit out of his depth currently, not leaning into his strengths of setting the groundwork for fights and instead very much interested in a dramatic interpersonal story. I mean, there's been 2 chapters now, but all of these messages were made with 1 chapter out, so I feel like this is a bit of an extreme take to make. Like, what do you mean? You're mad he didn't set up fights in literally the first chapter? Okay. Both Yuka and Tsurugi will be bums for the duration of the series so long as both of them are still alive. So this is playing into the Maki Mai situation. It could be true, but it wouldn't be my expectation to just get a repeat of that. Omni-K said, Tengen is Sukuna's mom, and Tengen is an alien. Well, you know that I'm full speed ahead on the Tengen is Sukuna's mom theory. And even though it was revealed that that character from Chapter 1 wasn't Tengen, and doesn't look like Tengen, I still think it's possible that Tengen could have a more direct connection to the aliens than we realize. So yeah, I mean, I think there could be something there. Alright, let me pause for a bit and catch up on chat, since I've just been plowing through the disc. How long will this new series last for again? They said about 3 volumes, which would, yeah, roughly be about 30 chapters. Charles says, do you think we'll see the next Six Eyes Limitless user? No. I don't think we'd see a Six Eyes Limitless user. Maybe we'll see a Six Eyes user, though. A Six Eyes Limitless user would just be too much of retreading the same ground, in my opinion, and it would be, like, way too strong of a character, in my opinion, for seemingly the story that's being set up. And not that all Six Eyes Limitless users are created equal, because they're not, at least in my opinion, but I just don't think we'll see one for that reason. I think it'd be really cool if we saw a Six Eyes non-Limitless user, but not that we'll even see that. All right. Oh. Boku says, Maru will be a villain while Cross will be good. Now, that would be an interesting subversion, for sure. Like, you know, because the way they're being set up right now is Maru's the kind-hearted one and Cross is the curmudgeon, you know? So I think that'd be cool. I could definitely see Cross being the good guy. I think he'll just take a little warming up to me. I mean, we're 2 chapters in, nobody knows, right? But I could totally see like that trope of like, kind of like the Zuko from Avatar. You know, he starts out kind of as the bad guy, but then really he comes around. But Maru becoming a bad guy is a little bit harder for me to see. If these, and this is a huge if, not saying it's the case, but if Maru and Cross are the reincarnation of Sukuna and his brother, then I would imagine it wouldn't be a situation where like they end up being enemies and split. If that's the case, I feel like it would be more interesting to kind of go down the path of like, oh, like this is what Sukuna needed. Like he needed that person in his life like Yuji had with his grandpa, right? So in a world where both twins actually live, maybe they can kind of balance each other to where they're both chill type of thing. Not chill, but you know what I mean. User, I don't think I did. Did your one about the grandkids? All right, let's keep it rolling here. Hot take, this is going to ruin JJK's power system. I don't think so, but I'm not like a... I guess it depends what you mean by that. Like, if this is like a power cliffing statement, then I could see that fear, but I don't think Gege would do that. But if this is indeed just like a straight up power system statement, I don't think so. It's just going to expand it if the aliens like use cursed energy in different ways. But, you know, I'm not like a hardcore power scaler, so maybe people that are worried about that. But I mean, change isn't necessarily bad. He's talking about power cliffing. Then I don't think, I mean, Gege Hutami is like one of the best examples of not power cliffing in modern shonen. So I don't know why he would just like throw that out the door for the sequel, especially a short run sequel. If this was like a full-fledged series that was going to go like 200 chapters, then maybe, right? Because you gotta, I could see power creep coming into play. But for a 30 chapter spinoff, like I just cannot imagine him completely power cliffing the original series. All right, Mickey Crow says it would be a little sad and maybe thematically wrong if Yuji was still alive and in good health 68 years later, because he wouldn't be able to fulfill his, Wasuke's, wish of dying surrounded by his loved ones. And it'd make more sense for this to be about a new generation of sorcerers dealing with tomorrow's issues. Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think it's wrong if he's still alive, because he can still have a good death as a 90-year-old. Like he didn't have to die when he's 50. But I agree with the series not being about him. Ravanamo, probably butchering that pronunciation, so forgive me, says, do you think we'll get to see cosmic curses? Maybe. You know, if the aliens are running from something, then what if there was like some kind of cosmic level curse? Like since cursed energy does exist in aliens and on Earth, not a far stretch to imagine it could exist in completely other places in the world, right? And maybe somewhere out there in an infinite galaxy, there is like a cosmic horror level cursed spirit that's out there, like Galactus roaming around or something, you know? Crazier things are possible, but I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna really. I don't know if this story will really be about like alien curses. It seems a bit more grounded than that. Also, if the aliens really are indeed all... Oh yeah, I don't know why my camera got unfocused there. If they truly are all sorcerers, which doesn't mean everyone from their home planet was a sorcerer, but that would mean they all can control their cursed energy, which means they shouldn't really have a cursed spirit problem. At least not the same way that human sorcerers do. Hot take, Modulo, if it went on for longer, or even now that it won't, could be better than JJK, and if things continue as they do, cursed energy will become the best power system. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It was one chapter deep. I mean, could it theoretically be better than JJK? Sure, but I feel like you can't really compare like a full series to like a 30 chapter spinoff. I like JJK's power system, but I don't really think it could become the best. Like, it already borrows so much from Nin. I don't know what they could add that would make me think it's just better than Nin now. Modulo should have minimal fighting and should focus more on world building the JJK verse than flashy combat. I think it'll have combat, obviously, but I do think it's gonna build on the world building for sure. Hot take. I believe this manga is nothing but the Boruto of JJK. I believe it is a very easy way for Gege to try and get in good graces with everyone, knowing he could just create something, slap JJK on it, and keep going. The fact that there are aliens now is the most down-on-your-luck story beat I've ever heard, and like I said, it's literally just JJK's Otsutsuki. Oh, hate that word. My biggest hot take, this manga is about to be buns. This is like the general brain rot take about JJK's ending. Like, seeing, no disrespect, but like one chapter deep. Give it some space. And to say it was an easy way for Gege to just cash in is just not true. Like, if you even read his statement, he talked about how he had tons of offers for spin-offs and didn't take them because he didn't want it to like get away from him. So no. Disagree. I wish so much to see Modulo in Gege's art style. This is not going to hit the same. I hope he does some art in the future. I mean, I understand missing Gege's style, but I like Yuji's art. I think it's really cool. And again, this is only a 30 chapter series, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Hot take, this doesn't need to exist and shouldn't, because Jujutsu Kaisen's world wasn't even full enough to add more stuff. Instead, what we should have gotten is a story about the 3 clans or the Heian era. Okay. That just doesn't even make sense as a take. Like, something not being full enough means you shouldn't make a sequel about it? Like, wouldn't... And I disagree that that's true, even. But let's just say it's true. Wouldn't that be what you should make a sequel about? Okay, we got a power scaling one here. Uruume beats Yuji, Maki, and eventually Hikari. We don't know if they have a domain, which makes that hard. But it seems like they don't. So I don't know. I'll let the power scalers tackle that one. With the setting and expectations, the 3 volumes we were promised don't feel like they'll be enough to get a proper in-depth story. I get the feeling that Modulo will feel like a short film when we're done, and it won't really hold a candle to the rest of JJK. I feel like there's 2 separate thoughts there. When it's done, it feeling like a short film that won't hold a candle to JJK could be true. I mean, I don't... It's like it is comparing like a movie to an 8-season show, right? Like, there's their pros and cons. You can like things about each one, but they're kind of hard to compare. So like, I wouldn't expect Modulo to be like, oh, this was way better than JJK. You know what I mean? So anyway, the other half of that statement was there's not enough in 3 volumes to get a proper in-depth story. That's just not true. Like, there's some beautiful, very short stories, whether we're talking manga, whether we're talking, again, like a movie compared to a show, a short story compared to like a trilogy of books. Like, if you know what you're doing, you can certainly tell a good story in 30 chapters. You know, if that happens, remains to be seen, but that's not something that can't happen. All right, we got a long one here. I think we should appear in the story as the head of the new Shadow Style School. Well, we know he was going to be, so if he's still alive, he should be. I hope Yuji is dead, because I want people to be surrounded by those he loved. We already talked about that. I think Yuta having an ending where he lost Maki, became depressed, lost his will to live, and die of young age is bad. I wouldn't call 85 young. I also wouldn't... Oh, okay, I wouldn't call dying at 85 young. And he says, I wish he had a happy ending instead of such a sad one. I think that is a happy ending. He got to live as a sorcerer and reach old age. Have kids, have grandkids, marry the woman he loved. We don't know how she died, but we know that she was old as well. So, like, they both lived long, happy lives. Like, if you think that was... I mean... Obviously, it's sad to lose anyone you love, but that's an inevitable facet of life, right? So I don't know how much happier we could have given Yuta. So yeah, I guess I disagree with that one. Panda should reappear in the series like he did in the epilogue. I honestly, I would expect to see Panda, especially since he did appear in the epilogue like that. I think it would be cool if we saw Uro in this series, since we never got confirmation of what happened to her. Unless there's some weird interaction with incarnated sorcerers, maybe there is, I don't think she'd be alive. I think Yuta and Tsurugi, or Yuka and Tsurugi being weak compared to the OG cast is good. I agree, especially for the start. I like that Yuta and Maki didn't manage to entirely fix the clan and it's still messed up. True, I mean that corruption's always going to exist. And then I wouldn't mind this series becoming longer as long as it's Gege and Yuji's decision, not editors. Yeah, I don't see that happening, but you know, I of course would be here for it. All right, heard some beeps, so let me catch up on the other stuff over here. Bildir says, any thoughts on what Maru's technique might be? Not really. I'm curious if that is his technique or not. Like his little harmony thing. It could just be... What's a good example? Like it could just be... Like the same way JJK sorcerers can all do like barrier techniques and simple shikigami. Like that harmony thing could just be like a natural use of cursed energy and not his technique. Maybe it is his technique though. But I don't have much more theories than that right now. Animatrix says, is your background a Sunyata barrier reference? What is my background? Let's see, you were on YouTube. Are you talking about like the movie theater? Well, whatever it is you're talking about, it's not, because I don't even know what that is. Tokyo says, what's your dream car? If it's a Tesla, ignore this. I don't know. I don't have a dream car, to be honest. I drive an old 4Runner right now. And I love that thing. If you just gave me a bunch of money, I'd probably get a new car, but like there isn't one that it's like, oh yeah, I want that one day. Oh. Then yeah, let's go with that was a reference. All right. We don't need aliens. I would have been happy with something like a sequel of the trio. I mean, okay. A lot of anti-alien opinions in here. Alright, actual hot take. Han-era flashback would bring almost nothing to the writing aside from Sukuna's backstory, but the details are best left mysterious. Flashback would not be worth it. Mojuro is the best possible choice for a spin-off sequel aside from a direct one picking up. I think anything can be done well. What I will say though is I'm more excited for this than if this was a Han-era flashback. And again, not that that couldn't be good. Probably would be peak. But I'm more interested in this because there's a lot of new things we can learn. Whereas a flashback story, there's new things we can learn, obviously, but you know where it's going to end up. You know what I mean? Yo, Taylor, what's good, man? Heist says, well, I don't have a hot take, but seeing as several people's very cold takes that JJK should have been fleshed out more, my hot take is that JJK doesn't need to flesh out every random side character and fight in their mother's left butt cheek. The story was amazing as it was, and while the ending could have been a little less rushed, adding random character backstories would have done the series a disservice. Series that end quickly are actually really good, and the traditional shonen formula of extending things to make extra money sucks for the space. Well, 1,000,000% agree with that last sentence, at the very least. That's the worst. You've seen that happen with so many like TV shows, especially like where it's just they're phoning it in for the cash. So 10 times out of 10, I'll take a series that ends. We could even say prematurely if we want, compared to one that overstays its welcome. But I also agree that a lot of what people would call like a plot hole in JJK isn't a plot hole. It's just something that like didn't warrant exploration. Not that it couldn't have had it, but it certainly didn't need it. Worn Fabric says, I still think we haven't seen the real villain yet. I think the Horn alien is going to be their Gojo, and there will be a villain alien equivalent that doesn't want peace talks. I think that's possible. Although, if it is indeed like another alien, like amongst their crew, like and not like a third set of aliens that we just haven't seen yet, then I think it would be the captain. Like, I agree that the captain might not be the bad guy, but if there is a bad guy amongst that set of aliens, I think it's going to be the captain. My hot take is that Miwa actually has potential outside of swordplay. It's all relative, you know what I mean? Miwa gets a bad rap. Does she have potential? Sure. But when we're comparing her to everybody else, and we take away her sword, she's probably not doing too much. Being 68 years in the future is better than a direct continuation, as it allows for Modulo to separate itself from JJK in terms of power scaling and story. As being in the future makes it less grounded in modern reality and the characters that were essential to the plot. Excuse me. This also allows anything that happens to be chronologically separate from the original JJK, so Gege can do a lot more with it. Yeah, I mean, I agree with those being the benefits of doing something in the future like this, for sure. But something I said earlier is that, like, I think you can make anything good. Like, so I don't think like a direct sequel is inherently bad compared to this, but I do agree with the upsides of what you said. Yo, Lily, thanks for stopping by. Extra says, hot take, regardless of the Boruto copy allegations, I think adding a new, entirely alien faction to a series that has substantial unanswered questions is bad. I would feel the same way if biblical demons or gods or vampires were introduced. If a power system separate from cursed energy is introduced, this will be even worse. If the aliens just use cursed energy, I will feel slightly better, but will still wonder why it had to be aliens and not just other people. I mean, I guess I disagree. Like, saying you can't add something when there are unanswered questions, I think is not fair. And this is something we talked about earlier, but like, and I'm not saying Extra says this, but like people that say there are certain plot holes in JJK most of the time don't know what they're talking about. But to me, this just seems like a matter of preference. Like, instead of aliens, I would have rather had a focus on this thing that I'm interested in. And not that that idea is bad, but that's not, but just because it's not that doesn't make this idea bad. And again, one chapter deep when these hot takes are being dropped, like let's give it a little bit. But in particular, aliens, I feel like we're going to retread a lot of ground here, so sorry for repeating myself, but I know some people like only come into the stream at certain points. JJK in particular, I feel like is better set up for an introduction of aliens compared to it like literally just happening like randomly in a series in a vacuum, if that makes sense. Like, we don't know anything about how this connects yet, but to me, I think there's a lot of ways you could make sense of this alien thing. We'll see. Mike Tyson beats Gojo in hand-to-hand. No blue, no okay. Mike Tyson beats Gojo in hand-to-hand with no blue, no infinity. I'm going to add no cursed energy. And if it's a boxing match, then yes. But hand-to-hand doesn't necessarily mean just straight boxing, you know what I mean? So if like we're throwing kicks and stuff in, then Gojo's going to win. But straight boxing, straight hands, you got to go with Mike. Hot take, manga should have been the main character in the sequel, isekai style. I'd die in chapter 1, man. Hyoma here is talking about what modulo means. Which I got a whole video on this. So yes, I agree. Hot take, no strong character to be put in a prison realm. I don't think the prison realm exists anymore. It might, but I doubt that's a plot point for this series. Goditto says pacing is a bit over the place. All over the place, I'm assuming. Mostly due to the barrage of flashbacks and some introductions feeling a bit forced just to introduce something to the audience. I mean, it's the first chapter, man. So, I don't know what you expect. It's literally all introductions. Gnawing Teeth says, I'm curious as to how aliens interpret cursed energy. Do they still call it curses, cursed energy, or something else? Yeah, me too. That's one of the things I'm most interested in. That's one of the things I think is so cool about this series, because we're getting to see this entire like facet of life through an entirely different lens. You know, it seems as if they don't call it cursed energy, considering Maru was like, oh, this is my cursed technique. So I think they have an entirely different relationship with it and understanding of it. All right, I'm going to read this one to myself first, just because I don't want to read all of this if it's not one I actually want to respond to. Okay, I believe a sequel is not needed for JJK. Gege has fully explored what he wanted to do with the power system, the characters, the arcs, and the villains, and I believe it's all satisfactory to the story that he wanted to tell. We know the ending was rushed and wasn't perfect, but regardless, I think the story benefits from a little mystery to its world. Yeah, I mean, bro's speaking like he's Gege, saying Gege has fully explored what he wanted to do. Clearly not. So I disagree. I do agree that leaving mystery is interesting and is a good thing to do, and I don't think just because you have a spin-off sequel means you're going to like erase all mystery from the previous series. This is going to focus on, you know, certain aspects. So I understand where you're coming from, but I disagree completely that Gege fully explored what he wanted to. Like, this wouldn't exist if that was true. Branch says, the dynamic between the two siblings does not work. By all logical reason, when the brother thinks he doesn't need the ring and Yuka wants the ring back, there's nothing stopping him from just giving it back to her. I mean, it's the will of the clan, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can just say the dynamic doesn't work because of that. Like, he thinks that he needs the ring because he's too weak, right? And it's what's motivating him to get stronger. Like, could he just give it to her? Like, sure. But, like, you know, could the Eagles have just taken Frodo and Sam to Mount Doom? You know, like, this is one of the plot devices here. And I don't think it's, like, silly to the extent where, like, oh, why doesn't he just give it to her? It's because there's other factors at play, right? This has probably already been said, but we don't need an explanation for cursed energy. Just let it be part of the physics of the verse. Aliens are just a lazy way to push away the origin, because how did they get cursed energy? This is about to be some Boruto level BS. I mean, we'll see. I mean, is it possible that there's some over explanation given to cursed energy that kind of ruins it? Yeah, that's possible, but I don't think that's a foregone conclusion just because aliens have it. And even if aliens do have it, it's still just like you mentioned. Well, how did they get it, right? So we don't know that there's going to be like some scientific answer given all the way back to the origin of the universe. So I mean, we'll see. I do think there must be something more than it just being a fact of life, considering, you know, there's such a rare percentage of people on the earth that have it, and seemingly a large percentage of these aliens that have it. But we just don't have enough information right yet. But I would agree with this take if they do like handle it in a poor way, which is true of anything. I think we'll see Yuji come back as a mentor figure or a Netero type figure. We could. Megami will never get a domain. It will be revealed that he peaked at grade 2. He probably didn't even subjugate Morning Tiger yet. I think that's probably just a meme. Ancient Jujutsu sorcerers were the Nephilim from the Bible. Let me explain. Referencing the Bible verse. If my theory is correct, the origin of curse technique stems from ancient... TikTok, shut up. What do you mean I'm inactive? Why does it do this every time? My theory is correct. The curse technique stems from the ancient Sumerians interbreeding with humans. The son of gods in this case would be the Sumerians, and the daughters of men would be human women. The children would inherit the abilities of the father's jujutsu. Yeah, so I do want to make a video at some point talking about the real world inspiration for the Sumerians. So I could see something like that. It could be that these aliens originated on Earth. Like maybe humans and aliens originated from the same common ancestor that had its origin on Earth or something. So I think there's room for that. Or it could be that the common ancestor wasn't on Earth either. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But if we're going to be like direct one-to-one to the real world Sumerians, then it would need to originate on Earth. The fight choreography is terrible and really unappealing. All right. I'm glad that Salad at least added this second sentence of hopefully it improves in the next chapters. Because, I mean, there was... What, like... I don't even know if you could call it a fight scene. One little bit of throwing hands at the end of the first chapter. All right, JoJo, you still here? I've been waiting to get to this one. This doesn't have anything to do with Modulo, I don't think, but I want to make sure she's still here before we... Jackson, I do stream on Twitch. I'm not streaming on Twitch right now, but I do, and I plan to. And like, if I'm going to be playing a video game, it'll definitely be happening there. As well as probably other places too, but... I don't think JoJo is here anymore. Oh, there she is. Okay. Sukuna horribly gaps Gojo in his true form. You know how I feel about this. I disagree. Mythical Beast Amber Kashimo might be stronger than Gojo. I disagree. Mythical Beast Amber Kashimo is minimum top 3. I personally disagree, but I do think there's a lot of room for that one, at least. Base Kashimo is minimum top 4, likely top 3. And Blitz is basically everyone below him besides Hikari and Urume. You know I disagree with that one. Base Kashimo, come on, man. My boy's putting base Kashimo over Yuta now. And Uruume and Hikari over Yuta. The Yuta slander is just disrespectful. Uruume is top 4. The Kinjaku and Yuta slander is disrespectful. Hikari equals Akotsu. You know, I can't. This is just fair. You know, I don't fault people that say this because there's some stuff in the series that points to it, but I think that Yuta is stronger than Hikari. Choso is top 10 or 11. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I could see it, but I would guess that I could find 10 people I'd put over Choso. Kinjaku is fodder and maybe not 15. You have to be joking. Same with this one. All 3 of these. All 4 of these. Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean? Kinjaku, the only other person to have an open domain, by the way. Multiple curse techniques, by the way. 1,000 years old, by the way. Yuki, you know, I would obviously have her top 15, but, you know, her curse technique was not as impressive as it seemingly should have been. So, like, maybe we could find an argument here. I wouldn't. I would have her top 10. But I'll give you a little bit of slack on that one. Naobito over Yuki. I mean, he doesn't even have a domain. And I guess, what do we mean by fodder with the disaster curses here? Because, I mean, you can count on one hand, less than one hand, people that can do something to Mahito. Here's JoJo's tier list for anybody that's interested. Yujo at the bottom. Mathis says, or here's his top 3. 1, Yuji or Sukuna. Okay. 2, Gojo. 3, Yuta. I'm assuming that obviously means like future Yuji, not Yuji end of series. But don't let me put words in your mouth. Oh, and Anwar said, hot take, Yuji became an equal to Gojo and Sukuna. I think that's possible. And also, it depends on what you mean. But in a strictly power scaling sense, I do think it's possible, but not the most likely. In a prestige or legacy or renown sense, I think it's happened even, but strictly power scaling could go either way. All right. All right, Priest Shrek says, Tsurugi is either not a heavenly restricted user or Gege has decided to retcon how that works. Yeah, okay. This is something I put out a whole video on Tsurugi, and that's basically what this comment is about. I would say we don't have enough information to tell right now. I think he is a heavenly restricted user as far as this first statement goes. It's just, you know, what flavor remains to be seen. Modulo just kind of feels weird since it seems like Jujutsu Kaisen, but without any of it. Like, Gege probably wanted to make an alien story because he saw Dan or something, but couldn't come up with a new power system, so just said the story took place after everyone died. Okay, no. Come on. Hot take: multiverse is the worst and most overused trope in modern media. No other trope contributed more to viewers' disconnect with the story and immersion breaking. JJK would instantly become 1 out of 10 if it had multiverse. I guess this is just in response to some of the comments other people made, because there doesn't appear to be any multiverse stuff going on. I would agree that it's overdone right now, but something I said earlier, like, I think it can be done well. But yeah, I would agree, just especially because it's like so oversaturated right now that I'm glad that that's not what we're doing, at least seemingly. This is the same take that somebody else had earlier. It says there's too much missing from JJK to have the sequel focus on a new concept. Like 1 chapter deep, by the way. Let me catch up here. Toru sent in without actually a message. So Toru, if that was a mistake, please let me know. I'll keep an eye out on chat if you meant us into question. DH says, huge fan, love hearing your takes on these stories. What do you honestly think we will do? Do you think he will appear or have set up things for this new generation? If we're seeing somebody, like, he's one of the characters that would have the highest chance of still being alive. So, like, is he still alive? Probably. Does that mean we'll see him or he'll play a big role? I don't know, right? We know that he was being groomed to be, but literally being groomed to be the next leader of the new Shadow Style school, right? And we already saw the new Shadow Style have an appearance in chapter 1, so clearly that's still a thing. So, you know, it's impossible to say, but I think he's one of the more likely kind of cameos we might get. Do I imagine him playing like a big role? No, but like maybe we'd get a reference or a quick appearance or something. Oh wait, here's Tori's question. What do you think about Maru potentially being the reincarnation of Yuji's grandfather, Sukuna's twin soul? Yeah, I could easily see that. I could easily see that. We're 2 chapters deep. It's impossible to say right now, but I think the Maru and Cross being the reincarnation of Sukuna and his twin would make a lot of sense. If that's true, big if, then the easy correlation to make is like Maru, Wasuke, Cross, Sukuna, right? But it would be really interesting if it was the other way around. Oh, and Jojo says, by the way, anyone that disagreed with my list can DM me for explanation. Yes. Please do. I'd love to see some of those back and forths. All right. Choso Strong Return. Well, if you guys watched my video from a couple weeks ago, apparently Choso's still alive, so we're all for this one. I keep forgetting Choso's dead. Like, it's happened like 2 or 3 times since that too. I don't know if I don't think I've like flubbed in any videos, but like I've had that happen to me where I was like, I think, you know what it was? I think when I made the video about who might still be alive in this sequel, one of the people I was like, oh yeah, Choso could be. I think it really is like a trauma block. I refuse to accept it. Yeah, Toru for sure. Sui says, what am I needed for? Megami is top 3 end of series after Yuji and Sukuna. That can't be real. Hot take, Gege should bring Gojo back. Probably a meme, but in case it's not, I do not think that would be a good idea. Not just randomly in the sequel. I think Modulo actually has the potential to become better than JJK. It's up to Gege to give it a more fleshed out world building, which is a good opportunity to do so. Yeah, I mean, that's just a matter of opinion once it's done, right? Like, some people I'm sure will prefer it, and some people will prefer JJK. But again, I think it's apples to oranges, because it's like a mini series versus a full-fledged series. Tengen and the Star Plasma vessels are probably linked to the aliens somehow. I think that's probably a safe bet. Maybe not like a direct link, but I feel like there almost certainly must be some sort of link. Imagine if Gojo and Sukuna were resummoned via a powerful seance technique similar to the Grannies to fight the alien fleet. Yeah, I don't think anything like that is happening. New art style isn't all that. Akutami's original style is much more suited for a series like JJK. Again, one chapter deep. Like, this is a new series, you know what I mean? Miwa solos the entire alien race. Finally, a hot take I can get behind. Yuta is a well-written character. I agree. The merger is not happening, but a bit disappointing. Fair enough. Modulo hot takes. Tsurugi can be an amazing character, but his current execution pissed me off. There are better ways to write that kind of character. I mean, there's nothing wrong with not liking a character, so, like, of course. But again, like, one chapter deep, I don't know if it's fair to say that there are better ways to write that kind of character. I mean, like, we literally just started. Yuka will die, and that's the sacrifice Tsurugi will need for the heavenly restriction. That certainly could be the case. I hope it's not the case, because then that's just like a complete retread of Maki and Mai. And they're not twins. Not that they need to be, though. We still got to figure out like what exactly is going on there. Gege is objectively not a great author, but that doesn't stop him from making really good manga. Okay, I don't think... You know. The use of objectively is interesting here. Disagree. I don't think Aliens in Gege's new manga was the right choice. We'll see, I guess. We've talked about that one a lot. 120-year-old Daido will teach Tsurugi how to wield a sword. Peak. Liver greater than brisket? Hell no. This person must not be American. I'm gonna need you liver people out there to make your case. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, he must have not have ever had, like, a true brisket before. Anwar says, everyone after one chapter of Modulo, I've seen enough. For real, though. Liver is underrated, but brisket solos. Facts. Ronta Zenin was a cool guy that was dealt with an unfortunate fate, so the karma of the universe reincarnated him as the alien kid so it could reunite him with the descendants of the Zenin. I guess he's equating Maru's third eye thing to what Ronta did. Yuka greater than Megumi. If Ghetto won, Earth would be BFFs with the aliens. I mean, probably, to be honest. The Earth would certainly have plenty of space for them. I'm probably not going to read this one out, considering the first sentence is just about aliens, which we've talked a lot about. He's essentially saying that doesn't feel very grounded. Again, one chapter deep, like who knows, like maybe it is going to be crazy and not grounded at all, but like we'll see. But that being said, I don't think Aliens discontinues or I don't think Aliens precludes a grounded and intimate story. And in fact, I think this one is even more set up from the beginning to have the kind of grounded, intimate story in the way we have like these two sets of siblings front stage and center, right? I think you can have like kind of like big things as set dressing, but the story is still, you know, can be intimate in that way. But in any case, after one chapter, it is too soon to make any type of sweeping statements one way or the other. Why does he keep saying one chapter? These hot takes are based after just chapter 1. This might be wishful thinking, but I think Yuji could still be alive in a powerhouse. Yeah, I mean, I think this is possible. I love this channel because it's just a bunch of people being loudly, objectively incorrect. My hot take is that while I'm hyped, I hope they don't explain cursed energy, heavenly restrictions, or anything Boruto-esque. We kind of had... This is a similar hot take to what we had before. If we take this to its extreme and we assume that everything is over-explained and there's no more interesting mystery, then I would 100% agree. I just don't think that's what's going to happen. Like, I think you can have interesting world building and even maybe shine some light on things, and it doesn't do what these people are afraid of. Now, again, could that happen? Sure. We'll see. Not really a hot take, but more of a question. Okay. That's not what we're here for right now. Sukuna might be an alien. I agree. Not that he's like not that he like literally like crash landed on Earth like Superman, but I think he could have alien ancestry. Tenyan is the most important character in Jujutsu Kaisen. I would agree. I mean, it depends on how we want to define important in this context, but yeah, I mean, they're responsible for sorcerers existing, pretty much. We got some Megami defense here. Always good to see. Kenjaku is alive. Takaba revived him, and he will be involved somehow. Possible. Excuse me. Hot take, the alien invasion was created by Takaba's technique. That would be funny. Um, sorry, I didn't read this one out loud. This person's basically saying that sorcerers don't come from aliens or get their powers from aliens. He thinks this is the first time that aliens and humans have ever met. I think that's certain, like that's obviously possible. Like it could be that, and it could be that both derived cursed energy for like separate reasons. We'll just have to see. Hot take, Yuji is a cursed object and agreed to it in case he ever needed to be reincarnated to save the day. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. I big disagree with this. I think I might make a video on this one though. But short version is, one, I don't think he would know how. And two, I don't think it's something he would do in character. Hot take, Kenjaku greater than Yuki, greater than Yuta, greater than Yuji. I don't agree with this order, but I think I would agree that Kenjaku's on top. At least at end of series. Bro is so angry. One sec. Yuta and Maki are shitty friends for letting Panda be put into storage and never trying to resuscitate him. That is a good point. I mean, I think he is resuscitated. Like, I don't think he died, I guess is what I'm saying. But, like, the fact that he did still, like... He was clearly, like, still conscious and had agency. And he was just sitting in that storeroom. That is kind of messed up. A lot of these are just the same thing we've already talked about. Hot take, there should be more binding vows. That could be cool. A lot of praise for Yuji given the statement placing him alongside Gojo. Just here to say that Yuji Bum Todori is not even top 10 in the verse. Got Sukuna, Gojo, Kenjaku, Kashimo, Yuta, Yuki, Yorozu, Maharaga, Kari, Urume. Amongst this list, I'm at least putting Yuji at 8. I feel like Maharaga is weird to include here because most people, like... Most people can't kill Maharaga, I would say. All right, I think the issue is like people want to like discuss other people's hot takes, which is totally fair. Maybe I should make like another channel of like hot takes for the purposes of making this video, and then like hot takes where people can actually like discuss. All right, we got a lot of debate lords happening here. Okay, this is where it ended after chapter 1. I don't even know if people did many top takes after this. There's not that too many. I guess we can just go through the rest of these really quick. Momo is unironically the current strongest grade 1 sorcerer. Only if she's the only one left. Hot take, Choso is not actually special grade, he's just above average grade 1 before the Sugana raid. I think I'd agree with this, at least by the definition that special grade need to be able to take over a country. Hot take, the Aura alien is stronger than Sukuna. We'll see. Amura says, do you think the new Sumerian leader is related to Sukuna? Greetings from Switzerland. Greetings, man. Maybe. Not like directly. But I think it's clear that Sukuna has some weird stuff about him, right? And a lot of it seems to line up with features of these aliens. So I certainly think that there could be some alien ancestry to Sukuna. Or a shared common ancestor between Sukuna and the aliens. Oops. Yuji let himself die a mundane death and turned into a vengeful cursed spirit so he can live up to his promise of killing Mahito's reincarnation forever. Legit theory, what if Maru and Cross are 6 eyes users? They both have 3 eyes, but they can't use the 6 eyes at their full power because they're twins. I've seen a lot of people talk about that with 3 eyes. I mean, who knows? There could be a new 6 eyes user, but I don't know if there would be like a, well, they're an interesting situation, especially because they are twins, so. We shall see. All right, we're officially caught up. Caught up. Caught P. All right, I'm opening this channel back up. I'm not going to be responding to anything that's sent in this channel right now, because I'm sure people will just spam it, but for anybody who wants to share their hot take if we do this again. What am I looking for here? Itch is back open. All right, let me catch up on chat now. Flying Penguin says, do you do crack? No. Oh, why my TikTok camera keep getting blurry? Has it been that way for a while? There we go. Yo, CK, thank you, man. Let me see how bad everything looks when I turn my lights off really quick. Boom. That's a little too dark. I might have to go pick up my girlfriend. It starts raining, I have to, so I might have to go soon, but we'll see. Who in here is reading Kagurabachi, by the way? Yeah, Ruben, that would be cool. We definitely have some interesting kind of setups with these siblings. You have a girlfriend? Congrats. Thanks, man. Yeah, we've been together a long time. I want a spoiler? A spoiler for what? Yeah, for those of you that aren't reading it, you need to. It's very good. Kagurabachi is so buns, solo leveling clears. Chill. Chill. That's the hottest take we've had this stream. Listen, I like solo leveling, okay? Don't get me wrong. I read the entire manhwa before the anime ever came out. It's not as good as Kagurabachi. So, listen, we could even say some elements it's better. You know? Like some of the art in solo leveling is insane. Not to take anything away from Kagurabachi's art, it's also insane. Point is, it's peak, okay? You just gotta read it. Ruben, I do insist, you will not regret it. You'll have to come check back in and let me know what you think. I do think the like sorry, the color of your name, people have different colors like random on my chat widget I'm using, and one of the colors I can't read because it blends into the background, so apologies, I don't know who said this, but somebody said, do you think the aliens call the power system something different? And yeah, 100%. I think they have a completely different relationship with what we would call cursed energy. Yorick says, like how long? Like from before you started making JJK vids? What are you referencing? I sound like your high school teacher? Maybe I am. Maybe I am. How much chapters? Are you asking about Kagurabachi? There are currently 93. People get so mad at some of my pronunciations. You know, am I perfect? No, okay? I'm not Japanese. I do my best. But ura ume is how it's pronounced. That's like the phonetic pronunciation of the syllables. Not saying I'm doing it the best, okay? But a lot of people just don't know that that is what it's supposed to be, at least. When will I ditch the green screen? Listen, I would like to ditch the green screen, but like I don't have a good like setup. Like I don't have a nice clean background or anything. CQ, how do you pronounce it? Is it not Tobe Mune? Tobe Mune? Itadori, I would love to hear how you're supposed to pronounce it. Please type it out phonetically. Is that like how you're supposed to say it though, CQ? Like to me that feels like the westernized version. Oh, okay. Itadori, if you're just referencing the show. Why is the art style in Modulo different? It's a completely different artist. So Gege Akutami is not the one illustrating it. It's a guy named Yuji Iwasaki. Ace says, I think Sukuna and the new aura farming alien have the same ancestor. I also think Maru is going to have what the Six Eyes is derived from. Could be. Could be for sure. I mean, it remains to be seen, obviously, but like we mentioned a bit earlier, like there's certainly a lot of connective tissue with Sukuna in particular to think that there could be some common ancestry there. It's not that like Sukuna would be an alien per se, but there could be some connections there. Yeah, between the meh and may, it's a lot of the times just like how it's hitting you, you know what I mean? Like if you say it fast, urume. Like which one do you think I just said right there? Because I intentionally did one of those two. Deluxe, there are no spoilers you could give me. So sure. Mechamaru would be clutch to have in this era. It would be cool to see like some other versions of Heavenly Restrictions. Senor says Sukuna understood cultural references, so probably not an alien. And yeah, so like he wouldn't be a literal alien that like, you know, crash landed on Earth. It would just be more so that, again, there could be like a common ancestor thing going on. Do I think Gojo is going to come back in some way or form? Absolutely not. Oh, Tiberius, that would be cool. Like Amaru getting his hands on some alien tech. Mekamaru had to die so Miwa could reach her potential. You think Mino is Ino's kid? I didn't even consider that. Is that just because of Ino being within Mino? Or did they look alike? Because I don't even remember what Mino looked like yet. Probably not, because I think it would need to be his grandkid. But that would be peak. Shiesty Sorcerer is my goat. How will Yuji be able to fulfill his grandpa's wishes if he lived into Modulo? Why wouldn't he be able to? He can still die surrounded by loved ones even if he dies at 85 instead of 60. Thoughts on the theory that Sukuna was Sugawara Michizane? I've never heard that theory, and so I can't comment on it, but just reacting to the premise, I don't think it makes sense. Oh, I might have to go pick up my girlfriend. It started raining, but let me check. Yo, Alex, what's good, man? Yo, Super Shiba, you as well, man. My camera's having a moment. Is it freaking out? Yeah, it keeps freaking out on TikTok. I don't know why. Okay, yeah. Well, sorry, my friends. I do have to go. I gotta go pick her up before it starts really pouring down. But this was fun. I want to do more streams. So I'm trying to think of more like fun ones we can tie in to like JJK and like the anime and stuff we talk about. I also do want to do some like gaming streams. But yeah, so if you guys liked the hot take thing, maybe we can make this a regular thing. The channel is open again on the Discord if you want to drop any of your own hot takes. But just, yeah, join the Discord in general. I'm going to go ahead and give this disclaimer as well. For those of you that aren't in the Discord, when you join, you got to go into the Get Access channel. It's going to be one of the only ones you can see. And you got to scroll down, read the rules, and then you press the little thumbs up button. And only after you do that will you have full access to the Discord. 90% of people cannot figure this out, so please, I have faith in you guys. Show me that humanity can do it, that humanity can read. The Discord, depending on which platform you're on, it should be like either on my profile, in a link tree, in the bio, but if nothing else, go into your browser, type discord.gg/monganimist. But yeah, hopefully if we do continue to do like this hot take thing, hopefully we can more streamline it. I'll try to figure out a way to set it up better where like people only put their takes and they can like discuss them other places. But yeah, I gotta go before I get yelled at and my girlfriend gets stuck. So thank you for joining. Join the Discord, come hang out, but I will see you